welcome back to an extremely fun Fujitsu Forum 2019. We're delighted you're joining us on Fujitsu Forum TV. Do you know what, sometimes I genuinely love my job. Two of the best guests we've had over the last 2.5 days. Gerald Pfeifer, CTO for one of our show sponsors, SUSE. Gerald, firstly, who is this fine chameleon, I believe, next to you?
Yeah, it's a chameleon by the name of Geeko to refer to our sometimes geeky kind of things that we do.
And this is your brand mascot, I believe.
Yeah, it shows the adaptability we have. You know, we adjust, you succeeded being our tagline, but it also shows that we like to have fun.
I have to say, it's been a smash hit here at Fujitsu Forum. The photo, you would think it was Mickey Mouse or something, the attention that this fine specimen has been getting. Gerald, you're here to talk a serious topic with us. So right now, there's a lot of digital platforms being built to support SAP environments, and I know SUSE are doing a great job to help business through it. What are the big drivers behind SAP Intelligent Enterprise? Can you just give us an overview of what it is, what you're doing, and how you're helping businesses meet that challenge?
Yeah, really, intelligent enterprise is about data. Everyone, I think, in the industry has heard about HANA, which really changes how you go about data. In-memory database, much faster. Capabilities that weren't there before,
yep.
But there's also lots of sources of other data. Think all of those IoT devices and things on the edge, different systems, and how do you connect those? If you work for a company and you do your expense reports or other chores, probably you have this thing where you book the flight here in one tool, and then you have to print something, and then you have to submit it, and then someone else scans it. And it's a lot of separate systems. And so the question is, can't we combine the systems so that data flows from one system to the other, and not just as in copy and paste flow, but as in flowing intelligently, in being processed, so that that allows you to not just deal with data, but deal with intelligence. So use AI tools to pre-process data, create new data that is used somewhere, that goes back in the pool, that is processed with some other tools. And ideally combining that, connecting that in various ways so that you have your HPC systems, your different sources of data, your HANA, your classic S/4HANA ERP system, for example, and have a flow of data so that it's not stuck in your silos, but it flows from one piece, it connects, and allows you to focus on where you we as humans actually can add the human intelligence and not just copying, pasting, or the IT equivalents.
Yeah. And you're making this a reality for organizations. This is happening right now. You're able to transform those environments and help them get the power of their data. We've been hearing over the last couple of days, 2025, that's got a key benchmark for SAP environments. I believe that SAP for HANA has a big change happening with it before 2025. Can you just explain what's happening with that?
Yeah, that's the year SAP has announced where everything in terms of roadmap should be on that new platform, should be on HANA, should be S/4HANA in that environment. And most customers I've been talking to aren't there yet, and probably won't be there next year. But increasingly many have a foot in the water, have a toe in the water, and have started to adopt HANA, S/4HANA systems somewhere. And some of the other intelligent systems like SAP Data Hub or SAP Leonardo.
Talk to me about your 100 benchmarks, because I understand this is quite an achievement, the 100 performance benchmarks for SAP SUSE has. What are they? Why is that important?
Benchmarks are totally important sometimes and completely irrelevant. Because what matters to the customer is that their workload runs efficiently. and not the benchmark. On the other hand, benchmarks keep us and partners like Fujitsu on our toes because we want to win those benchmarks. We want to have good results. So we put engineers, and Fujitsu puts engineers, SUSE puts engineers, SAP puts engineers to optimize the systems. And usually benchmarks come from, or try to come from, real-life scenarios. So you optimize for benchmarks, you learn on how you tune systems, you learn on how to go about hardware configurations, system configurations, application configurations, and then you take that knowledge to make it part of the individual products in this whole stack, from, say, Fujitsu hardware or public cloud over to the operating system, the container platform, to what SAP provides. And then as a user, you benefit from all those optimizations. And frankly, it's proof points. You know, if you can deal with data of that size or meet certain performance criteria, that shows a customer if I've smaller data or my criteria less stringent, I'm safe. I'm in a territory that's well covered.
Great. I believe, I've just heard in my ear that we might have our Steadicam operator over by the SUSE stand here in the digital transformation zone. I think we're going to put it up on the plasma. So just help us understand what attendees of Fujitsu Forum are actually seeing on your stand right now.
I haven't been at the stand too much myself, so I need to have a look what's going on. I think what we are seeing now is, what's usually on that side is about storage. So one area we have been working together with Fujitsu is software-defined storage. Right. There's an open source project called SAP, which I call the equivalent of Linux. What Linux has been on the operating system side, SAP is on the storage side. It's software-defined storage. The beauty is you don't have to go for proprietary solutions where, you know, every hard drive costs thrice as much because you're locked into that vendor. Yeah. So you have the flexibility, and you have integrated block storage, file system, and object store. So whatever your storage need is, it can be addressed, and it's based actually on a PhD thesis of the creator of the project. Yeah. And that thesis was about two things, essentially. Resilience, unlimited if you want to. You can choose how much redundancy you want to have, and unlimited scalability. So from an architectural perspective, and we have tested that, there is essentially no single limiting factor, which means you can simply, and something we actually considered with Fujitsu, and gave it a try, you can simply add a rack at the time if you need. Most people add disks at the time, or SSDs, or maybe a server at the time. But you could add entire racks, like roll in a new rack if you want, if you need, every month. Okay. Back in the late 90s, if somebody had said to you that Microsoft would be a key partner, I imagine a few eyebrows would have been raised. But they are a key partner, yes. Particularly with Azure, the cloud proposition, I understand it. What does the future hold? What else are we going to see from Microsoft and SUSE, do you think? It's hard for me to predict how Microsoft is going to transform. What's really amazing is, did you know that more than 50% of what runs on Azure is actually Linux? Wow. It's not Windows, so there's more Linux on Azure than Windows. And that really shows what, let's call it the new Microsoft, is about. It's about what do the customers care about, and how do we jointly solve customer problems, as opposed to, I want to make my money with Windows licenses. And we have a very tight engagement. And 10 years ago, that would have been, or 12 years ago, that would have been really unthinkable nearly. But we have close collaboration working with Microsoft on a Linux kernel, or bringing SAP HANA to the cloud. The first time someone told me, we bring HANA to public cloud, I said, yeah, good luck with it. How does that, public cloud, you have virtual machines, usually not super big ones. HANA is 4, 8 more terabyte. How can you integrate it in a public cloud environment? We did it. And I see a strong push also from SAP to actually move into public cloud. So both one foot in a data center, one foot in public cloud, and how can we, and that's work we are doing with Microsoft, and actually Fujitsu, how can we bridge so that as a customer you can have your data here or here, your SAP here or here, and you can move, even dynamically if you want to.
Brilliant. Final question. I know there'll be a few people watching this that hopefully will want to find out a bit more information about SUSE. Tell me about your big event that you've got coming up early next year.
Yeah, it's called SUSECon. We alternate between North America and Europe. This time it's in Ireland, in Dublin.
Nice.
March 23rd to 27th. Join us there. It's we have lots of contents on the technical side, but also for people with a business focus. And Fujitsu is actually one of our cornerstone sponsors.
Brilliant.
So we'll have Fujitsu on the main stage. My personal recommendation is come a day or two earlier or stay over the weekend after and enjoy the Green Island, because we all like green, right?
Absolutely we do. So there you go, from a green chameleon to the Emerald Isle. Good reason to go and visit Dublin coming up next year. We'll have to look at flights for that. Gerald, thank you so much for joining us. Geeko, thank you for coming in, entertaining us. Hopefully the fun will continue. What time are we at? 11:42. We go from chameleons to our keynote. The fourth and final keynote of Fujitsu Forum 2019 will be coming your way at 12 o'clock today. Dr. Joseph Rieger doesn't need introduction, does he? CTO, Fujitsu fellow. He's going to be talking about quantum-inspired digital inhaler and the impact that it's going to be happening. Please, please, please join us for that at 12 o'clock. Plenty more to come this afternoon from Fujitsu Forum TV.